I am the Firestarter, the Twisting Firestarter. Hey folks, I am the Mighty Plantain, and I am really excited to share this one with you today. This is Firestarter from North Country Hard Cider. Now, these guys are out of New Hampshire, and I first came across them back Micro Brewfest in Boston, I think about a year and a half ago. It's a nice hard cider with a lot of cinnamon and a little kick of habanero at the end. So it's got a nice spicy kick to it. I tried it out. I went back in for all their other ciders. I think they had 3 on tap at that festival. They were all really good. This one stuck with me though for being unique among the ciders. And when we visited the craft beer cellar in New Hampshire, kicked up to Boston from my buddy's place in New Hampshire for the festival and then back down to New Hampshire for the night, but you didn't need to know all that. Anyway, when we wound up back there, we hit the craft beer cellar and I found a bottle of this stuff. Now, knowing it was great at the festival, had to get the bottle, decided I was going to review it, and got a little too excited and drank it before I could get it on camera for you. So, imagine my sheer delight when I swing by Meridian's in Fairfield, Maine. I've mentioned them before. A place that gets a lot of stuff around here that other places don't, especially New England breweries, but also from all over the country and local stuff too. But yeah, you can find some gems there that you can't find at other stores, which is why I love to hit them once in a while, but it always gets expensive for me, so I don't go as often as I'd like. Because I see so many things that I want to get that I wind up going in to build a mixed 6-pack, and I walk out with that mixed 6-pack plus 5 or 6 other things. So, not a bad thing, the expense. I'm not saying that they're more expensive than anybody else. I'm just saying that I spend more there because I grab all kinds of stuff. So let me just clarify that. Anyway, Firestarter. This habanero spiced cider has just the right amount of heat with the perfect balance of residual sweetness from the apples. Now, what I'm worried about is that it might suffer from being in cans. I've talked about cans plenty of times. Cans are getting way better than they used to be, but some breweries still, and I don't think these guys would be one of those, still skimp a little bit, and you wind up with a metallic taste from the cans. But that's usually your bigger breweries, your mass producers that know that the people who are drinking their stuff don't care about the tinny taste, or aluminum, but it sounds better when you say tinny than aluminum-y. That just doesn't roll off the tongue. It's got some nice effervescent bubbles. They're actually tickling the inside of my nose. I'm almost ready to sneeze. And I think part of that is that capsaicin kick from the habaneros. Pardon me, as well. It just kind of tickles the nose and gets in there. But what I'm smelling is I'm smelling apple and a bit of cinnamon. I got too excited. I forgot to give you a look at the cider. It's a little cloudy, but it's got a nice pale yellow color to it. A little lighter than some ciders, but it's also very effervescent. Most of that's because I just tipped the glass up, but you can see there's a lot of bubbles coming up through there. But those are the same bubbles that I mentioned before were tickling my nose because they're just little itty-bitty tiny bubbles. Alright, I'm not going to sing. That would be horrible. But so good. They talk about a residual sweetness. I'm getting a good amount of sweetness. Not overpowering, not cloying, just right. What I'm getting is I'm getting a lot of cinnamon, a lot of sweet, and then that unexpected kick of heat in the finish. It's right in the back of the throat, down the throat, a little bit on the tongue, but mostly in the throat, but it's really warming you up. We're getting into the warmer months here. I can see myself drinking this stuff around a fire, fire starter, or any time during the colder months. The fall especially, this would be a great fall drink. Not to say that I wouldn't enjoy this year-round, but this would be great during fall or winter. It is just absolutely delicious. It's like apple pie, and then that heat gives you the illusion of the warmth from like a warmed up slice of pie. It's definitely a spicy heat though, but it's not interfering with the flavor of the apple. So I can still get that little bit of burn in the back of the throat coming up into the mouth, warming me right up, and just that spicy sweetness and the bit of cinnamon lingering on the tongue from the apple. Even without that spicy kick, this would be a great cider in and of itself. That spicy kick just gives it that little extra something that makes you go, wow. And of course, if I'm saying wow, this thing is getting a perfect 5 out of 5 rating from me. I'm in love with it. I have been since the first sip, and I gotta thank my buddy Maya for, one, for recommending we go to Microbrew Fest, and two, for turning me on to these guys, because I don't tend to hit the ciders at the fests as much, but he's like, you gotta try these guys. So big thanks to you for introducing me to this North Country North Country hard cider, and especially Firestarter. It's awesome. But that's just what I've got to say about it, and I think I've said enough. Hit me up down in the comments, the email link down below. I want to know what you have to say about Firestarter, whether you've had it and liked it, or tried it and didn't care for it. Either way, I want to know what you think. While you're down there, don't forget to like and share the video, and make sure to subscribe so you get a notification whenever I post a new one. Ooh, pardon. Till next time, folks, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.